Welcome to Adulting with Anna. Today, we're going to talk about delegation. So, when you are working in an interdisciplinary setting, you're going to need teamwork. And sometimes you're going to need to work with people who have more skills in a discipline than you do. I work in musical theater. It's a very interdisciplinary thing. So I work with professionals who know a lot about things that I don't understand, like lighting designers, set designers, really lots of things about theater I don't understand. I know how to write a script, and I know how to help people write their job descriptions, and lots of other things are delegated. So don't be afraid to identify the small portion of a task that you're very good at, and then just keep doing that. For me, it's writing job descriptions, doing the HR, helping people communicate. That's the equivalent of me stirring the pot while lots of other things are happening that I don't really know how to do. So let's talk a little bit more about this at the blackboard. Wine, please.
Well, that was exciting. It's several months after the beginning of this episode because we've had a pandemic. This is coffee, not wine. I have new glasses. I'm engaged. These are the same pants. Only so much can change. In a pandemic, I have worn other pants. But anyway, back to talking about delegation. At the blackboard, I'd like us to talk about a couple of reasons why we resist delegating, okay? So one would be we don't know how to describe the job we're trying to do. One of the reasons that I'm an effective delegator is because I love writing job descriptions for other people. Sometimes writing the job description for somebody else takes as much time as doing the job. So the time when you still delegate anyway is if they can do it better. Now this happens a lot for me with visual arts, where I don't, if you'll see here by, this chalkboard is the size it is because I ran out of paint and didn't want to get any more. So this was enough for me. So I usually can describe, I'd like you to paint something or make something visual better than I can actually do it. Even if the time's equivalent, it's still worth delegating for. Another reason could be you feel guilty. This could mean that you feel guilty asking for help at all. It could mean that you feel like what you can offer, if it's money, if it's experience, if it's advice, if it's network, isn't good enough and that no one wants to help you. And honestly, this one, the guilt is what gets me more often than not. A lot of people will say, oh, you don't want to delegate because you don't think anyone can do it as well as you. We've already covered, I very much understand people can do things better than me. It's is it okay to ask for help? Is it okay to offer the networking advice? I'm very good with resumes. I'm very good with networking. I'm very good with building job experience and offering an internship that sets them up to get the job that they want. So for me, when I'm not delegating, it's usually because I'm just feeling guilty about asking for the help. To be inclusive, we will put down the idea of control because that is an aspect that is involved in delegating. But I do think that a lot of people giving advice around delegation, they focus so much on like, oh, people just don't want to let go of control. People just don't want to, and it could be one of those two things. So how can we relate this conversation on delegating to music? Because I'm a composer, remember? That's why we're here. There's not a right way to delegate to everyone, but there are wrong ways to delegate to certain people. This is a piano. I can write a song on it and I can play a whole bunch of notes at once. So all by myself, I can create a complex emotional experience. If I wanted to give this chord to a brass section, it would take more than one person and I'd have to give them specific roles. So I need to understand, and I can with a book like this, what each of those brass section members needs. And then even within that, there are options. Look at these options. This is first for brass. There's a couple different ways that I can make the same chord happen. But there are some notes that each of these instruments can't play. So if you ever need help writing job descriptions, please feel free to reach out to me. It's one of my favorite things to do. I believe that you can delegate. I bet it's not even about control. I bet if you work through the guilt and if you get to know your people, that you can write job descriptions for them and you can help them out. All right. Remember to check out our pages, like, follow, subscribe. This is an awkwardly height camera. I like my glasses though. Good choice.
So do not forget to go over to the Isabel pages, YouTube, Instagram, and get ready for next week. We're going to be doing another Isabel baggage claim. I'm excited to talk about a new word with you. And like, follow, subscribe, do the things we want to tell you when we make a thing, so you can see that you understand.